Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing really well. So here we are with a very much anticipated video. I'm so sorry I haven't filmed this one yet, but a lot of you guys wanted to see my Buffy collection, my Buffy book collection. As you all know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is my favorite show of all time, and I am, I guess, what you would consider a mega fan. So I have two shelves here of Buffy books. So we're gonna go through kind of little bit by little bit and just have a cozy chat here on a Sunday. I did want to let you guys know that I am going to be batch filming these bookshelf tours and intersperse them with some other videos because, like I mentioned in my last video, the library is going to be dismantled here very quickly, and we're taking our time, so I wanted to still have content for you guys. So I really hope you enjoy the bookshelf tours. I've done these a few times and they seem to go over really well, and I love seeing other people's collections too, so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so this is actually the second shelf, but it's at a little bit of a better height for me to film. I'm sitting down on my floor. So the one up above also has Buffy books on it as well, and some little bits and bobs on the shelves. So I'm going to start with the one up above, and right over on the side, I have a whole big pile of the Buffy comics. Sorry, I can't fit these on the shelf, they're too big. So I have a whole stack. I'm not going to go through these individually, there's a lot of them. But I did want to call these out because, you know, obviously I did want to have them as part of my collection, even though I don't consider them canon in the Buffy story. They kind of went off the rails a little bit with the comics. But these are really super special because they were gifted to me by my friend Regina from Regina's Haunted Library, who every once in a while sends me things that she finds out at the thrift stores, and they just bring so much positive energy to my library, so I really love these. But I did want to show you guys two of my favorite covers. So this one is kind of like, you know, the classic Buffy cover, and you can see she's holding the scythe here. So I really love this cover because it just exudes Buffy power. And then, as we know, I don't know if I could call her my favorite character, but Willow is one of my top 3 characters in the show. And this particular cover has kind of, well, she's not really Dark Willow, you know, she still has her red hair and everything, but it exudes that kind of Dark Willow power. And I just love this with the blue kind of magic coming out of her hands here. And I love this blouse as well. I wish I had this for my own collection so you can see my back tattoos. I'm going to have to look for a top like this one. Yeah, so those are two of my favorite covers out of the comic book collection. And I'm going to keep an eye out, of course, for more of those. I haven't found any here where I am. You know, I try to go to the thrift stores and the antique stores and everything fairly frequently. I haven't been able to find any here, so I really appreciate that Regina sent those up. So next up we have some of the library bindings of the continuing comic iterations, I guess you would call them. So this is volume 2, Buffy No Future for You. So you can see Buffy and Faith on the front here. And then we have this one. This is Time of Your Life, so you can see Dark Willow on the cover of this one. I'm not sure who the girl with the purple hair is. If you do know, if you've read the comics, you can let me know. But it does have Dark Willow, and whoever this is here with the blue hair is holding onto the scythe. And then we have this one. This is volume 8 in that series, and this is Last Gleaming. There we go. I think you guys can see that a little bit better now, the full cover. So this one is Creatures of Habit. So this is like a novella, like an illustrated kind of novella in the series. And I did read this one a couple of years ago. I can't remember what it was for, but I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. Not really within kind of the Buffyverse that I love. But I do kind of like reading some of the offshoots every now and again. I have read some really bad ones, unfortunately. Some of the sort of official fan fiction is not that great, and it kind of makes me a little bit upset because it doesn't really follow the story that we know and love. Okay, so here's some of the, these are like what you would call nonfiction, I guess, guides. So I have a whole bunch of these. So this is an unofficial guide to the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So this is revised to include season 6. So I did have a different iteration of this one, but I did decide to keep this one because it does have all of the updated information, and I'm assuming it will have another edition as well, updated to include season 7. So of course you have the classic picture of Buffy and Angel here, and I love her dress. I don't think this was anything she ever wore in the show, but it's absolutely beautiful. Oh, I did keep the other one. Okay, so this is the same one. Like I said, you can see it's called Bite Me. So this is updated to include season 6, and then I have this one. Actually, it needs to have a little bit more of the gunk taken off of the back. It's a little bit sticky. So this is the updated edition, the unofficial guide to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, to include the 7 seasons. So it says up here 7 seasons, 1 book. Then I have the Watcher's Guides. So we have the Watcher's Guide Volume 1 with Buffy and Angel here. She looks so young in that picture. Then we have the Watcher's Guide, the Watcher's Guide Volume 2. So this is the 2nd official companion to the hit TV show, and very much the classic sort of Buffy look with Angel again in the background here. I think if I was like a character within the Buffyverse, I would probably be a Watcher. Sorry, the books keep falling over there on that shelf. And then we have the Watcher's Guide Volume 3. So just wanted to see if I'm not sure how far this goes up in the actual seasons. I'm not sure if this goes right to season 7. But we have Buffy and Riley, Dawn. So it looks like this goes to about maybe season 5 or 6. Correct me if I'm wrong, any of my mega Buffy fans who are watching this. And then I love this one. So this is almost like, you know, in Harry Potter you have the Monster Book of Monsters. This is the Buffy Monster Book, and the image on the cover is very 13 Ghosts, like the movie poster of 13 Ghosts. So I actually really love this one. And again, I'm not sure how high this one goes, but I'm always looking for the different editions, you know, the updated editions as they added seasons to the show. So I'll keep an eye out for more editions of this one as well. Then we have Angel. So I do have several of the Angel books. Truth be told, I couldn't ever really get into the show. I always get about halfway through season 1 and then I just turn it off. I don't know if I just need to kind of get over the hump and continue to watch. I'm sure it is, but as most of you know, Angel is not my favorite character. I think Angel is a schmuck. I'm 100% Team Spike, so I don't know. I might give the show a try again. I am looking for something to watch. I'm doing vampires this month, kind of as a personal readathon, so I might give it another try. And then we have these ones. So these are both Tales of the Slayer. So I think it's like a short story collection. I haven't read any of these, but I do have 2 editions. So I have this one, Tales of the Slayer Volume 1, which is really beautiful. And then I have this one as well, which I got, where did I get this one? I think it was like, I think I just ordered it online. But I love the images on the cover of this one. So you can see like the dagger that Buffy's stabbed Faith with, and it has some candles at the bottom, and this symbol here of, like, you know, one of the occult episodes. And then you have these sort of monster demonic kind of hands coming up, and I believe this was when Giles got turned into the demon, and the only person who could understand him was Spike. That was a hilarious episode. It's one of my favorite episodes, I have to say. Oh, this one includes stories from Tales of the Slayer Volume 1 and Volume 2. So I never noticed that before. I'm always finding new things in my collections. So this one is just volume 1, and the other one is includes stories from volume 1 and volume 2, but they're both the same size. So I'm assuming that this one doesn't have all of the stories from volume 1, it's just a selection of each of the volumes. That's what I'm thinking is going on there. And then I have some bind ups, and I also own them like in the individual books as well, but I love adding bind ups to my collection, especially when they're super beautiful. And I love how these bind ups look. They stick out very starkly on my shelves because my shelves are very dark, and the Buffy collections themselves with the standalones are really dark. So the fact that this is completely white, and then it has the blood spatters on the sides, and I love this font. This is probably some of my favorite font of any book in my collection. So this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is the first volume of bind ups. So this is Coyote Moon, Night of the Living Rerun, and Portal Through Time. Then we have volume 2. Love this. Look at that. That's beautiful. This is Halloween Rain, Bad Bargain, and After Image. And I did read Halloween Rain a couple of years ago. Like I said, I do have the standalones as well. And this one is volume 3, Carnival of Souls, One Thing or Your Mother, and Blooded. So I love the covers on these. I just think they're so absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Probably some of the nicest bind ups that I have in my collection, I have to say. Okay, getting to the end of the top shelf. I showed this in my library tour as well. So this is one of those VHS nightlights. So this is a VHS of season 1, tape 1. I do have the case as well, which I'll show once I get to it. But this was gifted to me from my friend Amy McCaw, who lives in the UK. She is also a mega Buffy fan as well, and she actually gifted the majority of this collection, which is incredible. She had a whole bunch of duplicates, and she reached out to me and asked if I would like to have them for my collection because she knew I was having a lot of trouble trying to find them here in Canada. And of course I said yes, and so we coordinated, and her husband helped out with all of the packing. He did an incredible job. I mean, they arrived almost perfectly all the way from the UK, and it was like one of the best gifts I've ever received in my entire life. It's incredible. So that was that for the books, the collection, and then this was a Yuletide gift from Amy as well, and I love this also. I guess I'll show these as well too once I get down here. I'll just take them out of the way. So I do have my Buffy Chosen collection. So this is the 7-season set. I'll take this out here. So season 6 is actually on top. It goes on bottom. There we go. Now you can see the image a little bit better. So it does have this little booklet, and it has some images and the descriptions of each one of the episodes. Unfortunately, and then there's exclusive never before seen footage. This is an additional DVD. The unfortunate thing, and it bugs me to no end, is that I'm missing season 7 out of this collection. Now, I do own season 7 just in the standalone DVD set, but the fact that it is missing out of my Chosen collection bothers me to no end. I had lent it out. This is why I don't lend out my things, and I never ever got it back. The person that I lent it to was, I think, burning back when we used to burn DVDs, and she had a whole setup where she could burn DVD to DVD, and I never ever got it back. And this bothers me because this is, number one, obviously a collector's edition, but also I spent an astronomical amount of money for this set, and the fact that it is incomplete, it just really angers me. So I am keeping an eye out for like that disc set just on its own, or if somebody has another one of these and I can just get the set out of them. So then I will at least have a complete set. But I loved this when I bought it. Like, it's just beautiful. Has Giles on the back. And then Faith, Willow, and Xander there. So that is my chosen collection, and it helps just prop up my angel books. So I keep that over on the side there. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of reorganizing and then I'll get right back to you guys. Okay, so I had to come over to the other side here to finish showing off the upper shelf, and then we'll get into the vintage standalones. So I do have, along with my Buffy collection, the Kendara Blake trilogy. Now, I just finished Against the Darkness, which is the third book in the trilogy. I am going to let you guys know my thoughts on that book in my next wrap-up. It was, I mean, I think it was perfect. But also, I'm really sad that this trilogy is over. I really adored this trilogy. And I've said before that I think this is going to be the closest to like a season 8 or a season 8, 9, and 10 that we're going to get to the original Buffy show. I think she did brilliantly, and honestly, they could make a show out of this trilogy and continue it on with the original characters. It was brilliantly done. So I love the covers on these books. Now, only the first one, I did get them in hardcover in all of these, and I did want to keep them with my Buffy collection. Only the first one has this embossed dust jacket. The other ones are okay, but this is the best one, I think, out of the series. And you have these, it's very gothic looking, and you have these roses up in the top. There's a, you know, like a crescent moon with the stake in the center. Very, very dark looking. And this is definitely a series that I can see myself reading over and over, like if I do a rewatch of the show, which I think I drive my husband nuts because it's like every year we have to rewatch Buffy. He doesn't mind though, in actual fact. Okay, so this is book number 2 in this series. So the first one is called In Every Generation. The second one is One Girl in All the World. And we do have the double sides here on the top. So the scythe from the original show in season 7, where they open the Hellmouth and go into the Hellmouth, the scythe plays a really, really big role in this trilogy, this kind of continuing story. And this one, which I finally finished reading. I picked up and put down this book so many times. I was just in a really bad reading slump. It's not that I wasn't enjoying it. It's just when you want to enjoy a book and you're in a reading slump, it's a little bit difficult. So I finally did finish this one. It was fantastic. And I love the cover on this one as well. You do have the moon phases here, and then of course the black and red cover. But like I said, book 2 and book 3 does not have the embossed dust jacket, but it is still super beautiful, and I love having this as part of my Buffy collection. And last but not least, we have the VHS case for my nightlight. So this is just so nostalgic for me, seeing this this VHS case, and she looks so young. So it says this includes episodes When She Was Bad, Some Assembly Required, School Hard, and Inca Mummy Girl. So just reading the titles of those episodes, it's very, very nostalgic. So I thought this was season 1, tape 1. But it's actually not, because these are not episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I actually got that wrong, but that's okay. It is still very early episodes. And like I said, this is very nostalgic. Maybe I'll try to collect the VHSs if I can get them. That would be really cool. Okay, so getting into some of these standalone novels, we're starting off with Carnival of Souls. I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit. One sec. There we go, that's a little bit better. Okay, so Nancy Holder is one of the main authors of the Buffy novelizations. I see her name a lot on a lot of these books. So this is Carnival of Souls. A timeless evil puts down stakes in Sunnydale, of course. And I have to just fair warning, these are not in really any kind of order. I tried to keep the different sub-collections together as much as I could, but they're not in any kind of publication order yet. So within the purple collection, I do have Doomsday Deck, Who's Dealing Out Trouble? We have The Willow Files Volume 2, still looking for The Willow Files Volume 1. And then we have this classic image here with Buffy and Dawn, Sweet 16. Buffy's not the only one chosen for magical purpose. So let me know what your thoughts are on Dawn. She's such a polarizing character. You know, she kind of came in out of nowhere in the middle of the seasons, and people have a lot of thoughts about that character. So let me know what you think of Dawn. Okay, so then we have these ones. These are actors with Willow and Spike. Resurrecting Ravonna, a dark evil is rising. And then Paleo, evil is never extinct, and we have Buffy and Oz on the cover here. So Oz is one of my favorite characters. I think he is a vastly underrated character, and I wish we got more time with him, honestly. And then for the next stack, we have Sins of the Father. Christopher Golden is another author you see a lot here with the Buffy books. The past revisits both the Slayer and her Watcher. We have Return to Chaos, Under the Cover of Darkness. We have Obsidian Fate, and I love how a lot of these books have like purpley kind of covers. Purple is my favorite color, of course. We have Child of the Hunt by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. And a lot of these are in fantastic condition. Some of them, the spines are a little bit dinged up, but for the most part, they're in really, really good condition. Then we're getting into the Gatekeeper trilogy. Just want to make sure I don't have book one. No, I'm missing book one, so I'm keeping an eye out for that one. But this is Ghost Roads, the book Gatekeeper trilogy, book 2, and we have Spike and Drusilla here. Drusilla is one of my favorite characters. She's definitely in probably my top 5. It says Last Exit Before Fear. And then we have the Gatekeeper trilogy, book 3. The Final Battle Has Begun, and it's called Sons of Entropy. So again, it looks like this whole sub-trilogy is authored by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. Then we have Oz Into the Wild. Oz must find the balance between man and monster. And then I really like the cover on this one. I'm not really sure why I'm so drawn into it. Probably because it has spooky trees down here. So this is Prime Evil, and it says Infinity Awaits an Ancient Evil. And then getting into the Brown series. So this is very much the classic sort of 90s Buffy look. So we have book 1, The Harvest. And everybody looks so young in this picture. It's unbelievable. Just look at these expressions. Everybody looks so upset. We have book 2, Halloween Rain. Like I said, I did read this one a couple of years ago, and it had nothing to do with what I thought it had to do with, but it was really good, I have to say, and I love this image of Buffy and Giles together. I love the relationship between Buffy and Giles. You know, the older I get, Giles is like more and more one of my favorite characters. Then we have Coyote Moon, Humans by Day, Evil by Night. And this is book number, this is the last one that I have that actually has numbers on the spines. And then I have a bunch of them. It has the same kind of cover, but there's no numbers. So this is Night of the Living Rerun. Then we have Willow and Xander here, Unnatural Selection, and Environmental Evil Haunts Willow. Then we have Buffy and Giles here again, Visitors. The Slayer is being stalked, and it says big up here, which is really weird. I'm not sure why it has that up there. If anybody knows, please let me know. And then we have just Buffy solo here, Here Be Monsters, Family Ties That Bind. Then we have, oh, this is, I'm going backwards, give me one sec. We have The Angel Chronicles Volume 1 with this, like I said, this sort of classic picture of Buffy and Angel. The Angel Chronicles Volume 2, three stories of choices, changes, and love. And then finally, The Angel Chronicles Volume 3, He's No Angel, so I guess this is where he turns into Angelus. So it's just this Volume 1. Let's see. Volume 1, How I Survived My Summer Vacation. What really happened to the summer after sophomore year. And then this one again, so this is a different cover, like the purple ones. I had the Willow Files Volume 2. This is the Willow Files Volume 1, but a different edition, a different cover, and it has Willow and Oz. And, you know, I'm so torn between the relationship between Willow and Oz and Willow and Tara. You guys let me know which one you prefer. I don't think I could pick. You know, each one has its benefits and its downfalls, and you know, just Willow herself as a character has such a great character arc during the show. Okay, so that is it for the first layer on this shelf, and then I've shown this 100 times before on the channel, but this is a replica Harry Potter potion that I keep on my shelves. I love this. I got 2 of them before that company went out of business. They made beautiful potions that you can tell a lot of time and care went into it. So this is a Draft of the Living Death. It has a wax seal. It is sealed with wax with a real cork, and it has the antidote over here on the side, just hanging there. And like I've said before, I purposely do not dust this bottle because I want it to look like it's in a haunted library. So I love this. This is probably one of my favorite artifacts on my shelves. Okay, so getting into the second sort of layer up here. Oh, and if you wonder how I double stack my books, I've shown this before. I just get lumber from the hardware store and I cut it down, and you can't see it, but there's like little pieces of 2x4 on the side that just helps it stand up. And then I can get double the amount of books per shelf. So getting into some of my Angel books. So we have this one, and it has Angel and Cordelia. I can't remember this guy's name. Like I said, the Angel show is not something I really got into, but I do remember this character. So this is City of Angel. And I love how they kind of brought Cordelia over. Yeah, I think she sort of outlived her run on the Buffy show, but I love how they brought her over onto Angel. So this is another one by Nancy Holder. It has Angel and Cordelia on the front, not forgotten. Then we have Soul Trade. The black market is trading on humanity. It's killing me. What's this guy's name again? Somebody tell me, please. Then we have Redemption. So this is by a new author, Mel Odom. So not Christopher Golden or Nancy Holder for this one. It says history can repeat itself. Then we have Shakedown. And it has the 3 main characters on the front there again. Then we have Haunted. What does this say? Reality television is taken one step too far. Oh, and we have Wesley Wyndham Price over on the side. And then this one is one that I got recently at the thrift store. So we have Wesley again, and it says Stranger to the Sun. It's a Night of the Living Dead. So that's it for my Angel collection. You know, I'm going to continue collecting those books, but Buffy is definitely the main ones that I want to get. So we have this one, Chosen, a novelization based on the 7th season of the hit TV series. So this is, I guess, a novelization of the entire final season, and it does have some of the color photos in the center of the book, just like, you know, classic 90s. Clem is one character that I absolutely love. He's up there. I love Clem. Then we have Immortal. So it has Buffy on the front here with this like ghastly looking creature in the back. Then we have The Totally Cool Unofficial Guide to Buffy by Keith Toping. have a lot of these sort of trivia books, and this one is very cool too. This is one of my favorites. The Quotable Slayer. I mean, the one-liners in this show are so funny. They're so good. She saved the world a lot. So actually, I'm not going to tell you where that came from because it has spoilers. But yeah, it had a lot of really, really good one-liners. We quote it quite frequently in our house still. And this one has 8 pages of full color photos as well. Let's just take a look. Oh, look at that. So cute. Let's see what else is it. Oh, Anya before the wedding. Everybody knows what happened there. And we have Spike. I love when they have those full color inserts. And then we have this one. I actually have 2 copies of this book now because I thought I didn't own it, but I actually did. I have to vastly update my bookshelf app. So this is the official pop quiz book. And it says, this one also has a full color photo insert. I'm not sure what season this goes up to. I would like to take a look at that. It says it's from 1999, so it's missing the last few seasons. Then this one, so this is a novelization of the original show. Actually, I might put this one over on my movie and show novelization shelf. It's kind of one of those things, which shelf do you include it in? And the scene right here with Lothos is one of the most hilarious scenes in any movie I've ever seen. I howl, I scream, laugh every single time I see it right up to this year. We watched the movie a few months ago, and I absolutely love it. I rented this movie when it originally came out in 1992, and I never looked back. Then we have this one, The Book of Fours. So we have Drusilla. I'm not sure who that is on the end there. So we have Buffy. I think that's Drusilla. Maybe these are just 4 slayers. I'm not really sure, but there's Kendra, and I'm not sure who these 2 girls are. I don't think that's Drew. So looks like 4 slayers maybe. And then this one, an expanded and updated unofficial and unauthorized guide to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean, how much more legal can you get there with updated, unofficial, and unauthorized guide to the TV show? Okay, I'm just going to get on the other side and then continue. That's the worst thing with owning so many shelves is you have to constantly move around. Okay, so getting into the Unseen trilogy. I think there's 3. So this is Unseen the Burning. We have Buffy and Angel here, and it has the logos of both the shows on the bottom. Then we have Door to Alternity, and I love the color of the title on here. It's like this magenta, kind of purpley color. Very cool. Then we have the 3rd one, Unseen Long Way Home, with Buffy, Angel, and Spike on the cover here. So those are the 3 Unseen books. I'm assuming there's only 3, but there might be more. Then we're getting into this kind of mini sort of series with this font on top. It says, The Evil That Men Do, an ancient betrayal threatens the Slayer. I wonder if that has to do with the ancient guys that she was meditating in the woods and she went back to get information. This one actually needs to go with the Brown series, so we're out of order a little bit, but that's okay. So this is Blooded, which is one of the ones in the bind up above. Then I do have book 1 in the Gatekeeper trilogy, so I am completely out of order here. So we'll do a little bit of reorganizing now that I have the bookshelves pulled apart. So this is the Gatekeeper trilogy, book 1, Out of the Madhouse. Evil is Eternal. And I can see even these green ones are a little bit out of order as well. So now we're getting into the green series. Part 1, The Lost Slayer. Prophecies, and this one is by Christopher Golden as well. Let's put that one in its rightful spot. Then we have book 2 in the green series, Dark Times. So this is the Lost Slayer series. Then we have book 3, King of the Dead, with Buffy and Giles on the front here. Buffy faces an adversary who was once her most trusted mentor. Ooh, interesting. And then we have the Lost Slayer, book 4, Original Sins. Can Buffy defeat a foe who not only knows her techniques, but helped her develop them? So something going on with Giles there. Then, oh, we have more in the purple series. Okay, so we are a little bit out of order here, but I'm sure you guys won't mind. So we have the Faith Trials Volume 1. What are your guys' thoughts on Faith? She's definitely, like, she has her place in the show. She's just not one of my favorite characters at all. I don't think she'd even make my top 10, honestly, which I know is a blasphemous thing to say, but Faith is just not my favorite. Spike, on the other hand, is one of my favorite characters. I love Spike. So this is Little Things. Evil things come in tiny packages. Then we have, oh, the Journals of Rupert Giles, Volume 1. So I don't have a lot of these like complete volume sets yet. I'm still on the lookout. Then we have this one here, Crossings, A Video Game Has a Deadly Outcome, with Xander and Anya on the front. You know, the older I get, the more that I appreciate Anya, really. She wasn't one of my favorite characters when I was growing up, but now she's definitely moved up the list. And then last but not least, for my Buffy collection, we have this one, Ghoul Trouble, Evil Walks by Day. So finishing off with one out of the purple series, and as we know, purple is my favorite color, and I think out of my collection of Buffy books, these ones are probably my favorite covers as well. I just really like this kind of portrait style. So that's it. That is my Buffy collection. I finally showed you my shelves and how they look right now. A little bit out of order, but that's okay. I'll get them reorganized, and I need to do a little bit of scanning too to make sure that they're all in my bookshelf app. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my Buffy collection. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a question or comment down below, because you know I love chatting with you guys. But until next time, stay spooky, everybody. Bye.